those stories where someone stays in a relationship way longer than they should? Yeah, this is one of them. But this one, it's worse than everything you're imagining, because everyone knew my husband, Max Kennedy, was allergic to women. And I don't mean that as an excuse, I mean literally. He couldn't stand being touched by a woman, even me, his own wife. On our wedding night, I made the mistake of leaning in, just a small kiss, nothing dramatic. Before I could even touch him, he kicked me off the bed. Not pushed, not avoided, kicked. And then his face went pale, and he started vomiting like he'd been poisoned. That same night, he moved out of the bedroom. And for 5 years, we never shared a bed again. Imagine living in your own home like you're contagious, like your presence alone is a threat. Whenever we went out, I had to stay at least 2 meters away from him. Inside the house, gloves, coats, layers, all just in case I accidentally touched my own husband. And the crazy part? I accepted it. I convinced myself this was just love. But everything changed one day. We were at a cliff. My client wanted to try a bungee jump. Something went wrong. Max slipped. For a split second, he was about to fall, and without thinking, I reached out to save him. But instead of grabbing my hand, he pushed me. I lost my balance. Suddenly, I was the one hanging off the edge. And when I looked up, do you know what I saw? Not panic, not fear, not even guilt. He was holding another woman, a sign language interpreter who had been working with us. She was shaking, terrified, and he held her gently, whispering, "Don't be afraid, I'm here." That's when it hit me. Not all touches make him sick, just mine. So I shouted, "Max, pull me up. She can't hold me much longer." I was bleeding, slipping, and he looked down at me, calm, almost bored, and said, "There's water below. You won't die. Wait for rescue." That was it. No hesitation, no urgency, just dismissal. And then I fell. The water hit me like a wall, cold, violent. It filled my lungs, burned my chest, but somehow it still didn't hurt as much as what he said. When I woke up in the hospital, I was told I almost drowned. My lungs were infected. I needed urgent care. But Max, he didn't come. He sent his assistant. And you know what that man said to me? "Do you realize your behavior almost made President Kennedy miss an international conference?" Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "You almost died." No, I was an inconvenience. And then came the part that broke me completely. The baby I had been carrying was gone. A test tube baby. One I begged for. One I endured hundreds of injections for. Gone. And 3 days later, Max finally showed up. He sat down like he was attending a meeting, looked at me, and the first thing he said was, "Why weren't you wearing gloves?" Not concern, not regret, criticism. Then he glanced at the report about the miscarriage and said something I will never forget. If the child was that weak, it wasn't fit to survive. That's when something inside me finally snapped. So I asked him one question. "If you're allergic to women, why did you hold her?" For the first time, he hesitated. Just a second. Then he said, "She was scared. I forgot." Funny, because I remembered everything. The time I had a high fever, the cramps that left me shaking, the housekeeper begging him to help me, and when my hand accidentally touched his, he poured cold water over me and ran off to wash himself like I was dirt. So no, it wasn't an allergy.